to break your walls. You ever did was break me. I shook the camera.
Now I have been waiting and wondering, and something else that starts with a W for the last 6 months. It's been driving me crazy. What's in that damn basement? Attack on Titan Season 3 is back on now on Toonami and Adult Swim, so you can watch it now. It's back on, and I'm so excited. It's gonna be awesome. I hear there's gonna be a lot of fights, there's gonna be drama, and it's gonna be big. Guys, if you're excited as I am for Season 3 and you want to see more Attack on Titan makeup, please hit that like button if you enjoyed this video and smack that subscribe button and join the horsepower. Now, no more horsing around. Let's get right into the video and let's get started. So in case you haven't noticed, the Colossal Titan is bald. So we need a bald cap in order to do this makeup. Woohoo! This is our first FX thing on the Color of Fame channel. And yes, I know what I'm doing. So making a bald cap includes liquid latex. So if you're using liquid latex for the first time, make sure you're not allergic to it and test it on your arm first. I like using plastic wrap over using a real bald cap because it's a lot thinner. I think it's more breathable even though it's plastic. I think it makes less seams. I just like it better. But the downside is it shows the back of your head and it shows all your hair in the back. But if you don't care about showing off the back of your head, I like this a lot better. Plus, plastic wrap is very budget friendly. If you happen to be allergic to latex, there are latex-free bald caps out there. Body paint can't stick to the plastic, so I covered the plastic in a few layers of latex and powdered it down so it can stick. Just like a normal bald cap, you want to make sure there's as little seams and wrinkles as possible. Don't be afraid to take your time on this to make sure it looks right. Sorry to break this to you, but the Colossal Titan also doesn't have eyebrows, so you gotta use a glue stick and block out your eyebrows. I also powder that too, so the paint can stick to it better. Once you're done with that, have a Cheez-It break. It's a necessary step that'll affect the success of your makeup. Powder that sucker down and you are officially part of the bald community. Next, sketch out all the sections where all the muscly parts will be. A reference would definitely help for this makeup, or if you're an obsessed fan like me, you would know it by heart. Here I am drawing where all of the Colossal Titan's teeth will be. Titans have a lot more teeth than a human would, which is actually pretty terrifying. Fill in all the areas that you drew out red. Be careful not to paint over your sketched teeth and make them red. It would be easier if you used a smaller brush to paint around the teeth. If this helps you at all, I went ahead and painted all the teeth white so I could better see the teeth I sketched out so I could be more careful. If you make a mistake and paint over the teeth, it's fine, just wipe it off. With the NYX Black Jumbo Eye Pencil, I covered the top portion of the eyes. I smeared around the black and patted it down with red eyeshadow. It should turn into a very dark red. I heavily diluted dark red paint and started making some texture to the plain red under my eyes. It won't be that noticeable in the end, but it'll be a little bit of texture for anything that is left behind. Once you're done with the first layer, the second layer you can use less water and the same amount of paint and add more lines on top. Pick the spots you want it to be darker and be more sparing the darker layers you go. The Colossal Titan sometimes gets shiny when he puts off a lot of steam, so depending on if he gets all steamy or not, you could add highlights. Just like with the dark red body paint, I started off with diluted white paint. And the more layers I put on, the less paint I used. By the time I got to the layer where I just used white and no water, I was hardly adding any paint at all. Once you're satisfied with all the layers you put on, I used red eyeshadow and shaded around the entire section of each section. It would even look even cooler if you stroked your brush in the shading same direction as your texture, so the shading goes along inside your texture. Camera is out of focus again! Oh, thank God. I used a small amount of black eyeshadow and shaded the deepest, darkest parts of your soul. I mean your face. That doesn't sound good either. It's pretty simple from here on. You're just gonna repeat the same steps that I just said for all the other sections of your face. The Colossal Titan isn't actually that hard to do. It just takes a lot of time and patience. You could probably tell from my voice that I naturally don't have either of those. One thing of advice is to make the darker areas closer to the edge, because that's where the shadows will be. In the outer mouth sections, I made 2 bands of muscles, one going over the other. To shade the under muscles by the teeth, I used dark red eyeshadow and then eventually black. Once you're done with all the muscles on your face, you can clean up anything that may have wandered outside the sections with a Q-tip. I used a NYX foundation stick and rubbed it all over my bald cap and my eyebrows. I figured with some powder, it wouldn't move as much as your typical foundation. And then I used my normal foundation for all those little crevices in between your sections on the face. And then powder everything. I used a very light nude eyeshadow to not make the teeth so bright white. I'm sure the Colossal Titan have eaten a few people, therefore it's not exactly clean. In the anime, I noticed that the Colossal Titan's teeth are all outlined in black, so I stayed true to the show. So I outlined all the teeth in black. I used a dark brown eyeshadow and just flickered on some lines in the teeth to give it a little more texture. Next, I made teeny tiny little highlights in every tooth. The last thing we're gonna do to our face is add all the contouring, the shading, the lines, the wrinkles, everything else that goes on the skin. I just used all the same brown eyeshadow. It's like a medium brown eyeshadow. I also gave the Colossal Titan a darker upper lip. I fueled my patience again with another Cheez-It break. Now paint all the sections on the rest of your body with red paint. Again, you'll be repeating the same steps that you've been creating on your face on a much larger scale for the rest of your body. I would recommend skipping the dilution part because you're gonna be here all day and night. So you could just use straight up red paint. This is kind of a similar makeup to my Hulk, except it's a red Hulk. And it's a little more menacing and disgusting, and it's an anime. You know what I mean. You can continue going with darker colors and using less of them. Here I'm just using a wet brush and kind of gliding those colors out more. When you're using the highlights, make sure you add the same amount of highlights as you used on your face so it matches. Again, so we're not here all day, I skipped the red eyeshadow and just went in with black to shade around every section around my body. Rinse and repeat everything I just said on the arms. This is a little trick I like to use to make it look like my neck is sticking out and my muscles look even bigger than they really are. What I'm doing is I'm separating my neck from the rest of my shoulders. How, you ask, do I do this? You just work on your neck separately and then move on to the rest of it later. There are two separate muscles I made around my shoulders and neck, and you can see just by looking of what direction they are going in. Same for every muscle, I made all the darker sections toward the outer parts of each section. You could do it, guys. This is the final muscle. Push it to your limits. You sound like a personal trainer or something. Well, I guess it's kind of a workout for your wrist. Your artistic muscles, your creative muscles. There's a lot of muscles you're working out just by art, you know. Though if a real personal trainer probably heard me saying this, they would think that was a pathetic excuse for not exercising. The last step, you guys, is to clean up those sections in the skin and to add a little bit more of that contour in the skin, and you are done. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you want to see more Attack on Titan makeup, please hit that like button if you enjoyed this video, and smack that subscribe button and join the horsepower. And I will see you in the next video. Goodbye!